I have started the stream. I am waiting for it to work. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. Hold on, everybody. Okay, everybody. All four of you, as we have them trickle in, welcome to the first impromptu, off-the-cuff creepypasta night, where I will be reading a couple of creepypastas. I don't know what I'm going to be doing for the next ones, but for this one at least, I will be picking ones. But for the next couple that I do, y'all will choose for me. So I'll be waiting for your replies at that point. I might do that this stream. I don't know. But we're going to give about 5 minutes for people to get in here and get ourselves a little audience so people aren't lost when the story starts. But in the meantime, why don't y'all tell me in the comment section on YouTube what some of your favorite creepypastas are. So when this ball does get rolling, I'll know some really good ones. I've seen the big ones that everyone knows about. So what are some more obscure, really good ones? What makes a creepypasta so creepy? And if you think my outfit is cheesy, I completely agree. So now that we agree on that, I also want to apologize for any background noise that might happen during this stream. We do live in a duplex, so just try to block out all the noise and be absorbed into the story. I'm also new at this. I've never really done narration of this sort. So expect a lot of hamming it up and expect mistakes, and maybe even laughter. But we're going to try to avoid the laughter. So I think overall it'll be a fun time. And I promise there are not going to be any jump scares. I promise I'm not going to try and jump out and grab you and nothing's going to come out of that door. Nothing's coming out of that door, guys, I promise. Or that door, actually. I just realized
there's a lot of doors.
There's a lot of doors in this room. I should have a mirror just right here, too. Just I can stick my head out of the way. Oh, isn't that kind of weird?
Right, by the way?
My head's in front of it, so
Okay.
I purposely placed my head in front of it to make it not be visible. So if you know anybody this evening who would like to take part in this creepypasta viewing, oh my gosh, camera, you're going to have to figure yourself out, buddy.
He's going to change the light.
Yeah, but it figured itself out. If you know anybody who wants to be part of this, shoot them a link on the YouTube video because we're about to get started in like 3 minutes at 10:40. So let them know, guys. This light, you think it's from my screen? Actually, I lit a candle. So,
Because you love candles.
because I love candles and it sets the mood for me. So I'm going to start reading some of your comments here on YouTube. The Darkest Inferno actually was one of the first people to post on this when I first made it. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to figure out Google Hangouts scheduling business. And it's really interesting. Also, I need you all to listen for just a couple seconds. I just came down with a wicked cold today, like really badly. I was going to record songs and do a couple covers because I'm really behind, and I'm even more behind. But I was going to do that, and then I just got a terrible cold, and I'm just now starting to get over it. I'm on meds. I've done the orange juice. Where's my orange juice? I threw it away. I drank it all. So I don't need another one. That's far too much orange juice. And I had some miso soup today, so I'm doing all the things to make me feel better. So if I sneeze or cough through this or I sound ill, there's a reason why. So don't be surprised if that also hinders things. But the Darkest Inferno said creepypasta is one of my favorite online topics. Indeed, it's a very interesting little sub-genre of the internet. DJ Flagger said first, although he was not first, actually. Maybe the first out of the people here on the stream. And Javier Ortega was already here. And Old Life New Project says, what up? I'll tell you what's up. Creepypasta. 7-Up. Diet 7-Up kicks. Indeed. I'm on the Creepypasta wiki. I actually when I read today, this very day. I'm also going to try to do ambient music in the background. I have some things pulled up, so I want you all to tell me here if y'all want to listen real quick. Help me with the sound here because we're going to set this thing up. All right, I'm pressed play. Okay, we're getting some sound. All right, tell me if y'all can hear that. Can you hear that? And better yet, can you hear that while I'm talking? I'm going to skip forward a little bit. All right, can you hear that? See, there's your background music. It's me talking. Getting loud kind of here. How's that sound? Pretty good. Let's see how it sounds. I'm going to try to listen to here, actually. I want you all to tell me here if you want to listen real quick. Help me with the sound. Alrighty, I just listened to it on my own here, and it's pretty loud, all things considered. I didn't realize you didn't really have to do much for this thing to kind of kick you in the teeth. Let's see here. Still only 4 comments. I like that 29 of y'all are watching out. Pretty tight. Oh, everyone's got these thumbs up things. Oh, that's neat. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, that's really appropriate for Creepypasta night. Cute little yellow nub sticking his fists up in the air. That makes sense. For all the people who just joined, like as I was listening to that, that had to be really creepy looking. Just me with my mouth agape staring at the screen. That's fun to watch. Anyway, guys, I think we're actually about to get started. So, who's ready for some creepypasta? Because I'm ready for some scary stories. So, I'm not. Alrighty, guys. This one is called The Man Who Looked Down. Let me start the music. I am sorry.
I'll be done soon too.
Huh?
I'll be done soon.
Okie doke. Here we go. I have chills, guys. I feel the chills in the air. Can you feel it? I can feel it. Okay, my sound's working. The Man Who Looked Down. Before you read or listen to this, make sure you are alone. If you are in a room, close the door. If you're by a window, look outside and make sure there's no one there. The only way others should know about this story is by reading it or listening to it themselves. Do not repeat this out loud to anyone. He will hear you. But you are able to read it yourself or record yourself. Right now, these are the only 2 exceptions I know about. Once you think you're alone, look at the screen and do not take your eyes off it until you are finished reading or listening to a recording. He will know if you look away. It started on Sunday, November 4th, 2012. I mean, my senior year of high school, and I had a wonderful girlfriend. We were at my house, warning about the school the next day, and terribly bored. She came over so I could help her with a project that just had to be due the next day. I had hoped we would be able to fool around a little, but she needed this A, or she would fail the marking period. We finished around 8 o'clock, and she didn't need to leave until 10. So we still had 2 hours with each other, and the only other person who was home was my little 8-year-old sister, whom I had to babysit. My parents were at some dinner meeting until 10, but I knew them all too well. They would be home around midnight, but I wanted to play it safe because they don't allow my girlfriend over past 8. They were afraid I would get her pregnant or something. Anyway, we went on the internet because there was nothing else to do, of course. She wasn't in the mood to fool around, and I couldn't stand another homework assignment. The internet was the only means of escaping these dull hours. We watched videos on YouTube for a while, looking up the newest popular videos until we ended up watching some creepypasta. We both had been watching creepypastas before we were, dating, so we knew what to expect. We had a hard time becoming truly scared of them like we used to, though. We kept trying to find some that would scare us, but the videos we watched weren't as scary as we had hoped. By now it was almost 9:30, and we were upset that none of the videos we watched were creeping us out. We were about to give up on searching until I saw this unusual thumbtack. All it showed was a man standing with his head looking down and hair covering his face. What was strange about the thumbtag was that there was no time limit and no author, just a title that read, "The Man Who Looked Down." We both agreed that this would be the final video, and if it did not creep us out, we were giving up. I moved to my mouse to press the video link, and the moment I pressed it, the video went into full screen, and the man I saw on the thumbtag was standing there. I moved my mouse around to find the loading bar, but it wasn't there. I pressed escape on my keyboard to get out of full screen, but the screen did not move. For a second, I thought the computer was frozen, but in the video, the man was standing in what seemed to be a front lawn of a house I've never seen before, and the tree next to him was moving with the wind. My girlfriend and I had no idea what was going on, but I never took my eyes away from the screen. I felt like there was something I had to see, and if I took my eyes away for a moment, I would miss it. I don't know how long my girlfriend and I stared at that man, waiting for something. It felt like a couple minutes, but while I was staring at him, I felt like something was wrong, like something was changing me. I actually felt scared. I don't know if my girlfriend felt it, but I didn't have time to think about that before I felt something grab my shoulder so tight the nails pierced my skin. I turned around to see the face of my father. He opened his mouth to say something, but was interrupted by my girlfriend's ear-shattering scream. I rolled back around to almost scream myself. The man had looked up and must have run closer to the screen because all I could see was his face now staring at me. The background was completely white. The hair was out of the way to show his disfigured face. His nose was torn on the left nostril, allowing people to look inside of the hole into his head. His mouth was opening larger than any normal human could bear. Part of his cheek was missing with a hole about the size of a large fist. He had no tongue and no top row of teeth, only a bottom row of dark, chipped teeth that were pure black. But the part of his face that will never leave my mind is his eyes. They were half red and half white. The half-white parts had red veins protruding out of them, while the red sides had white veins protruding. There was no sound, just him staring through the screen for a couple seconds before my computer turned itself off. I looked at the clock, and it was 12:30. This wasn't possible. I was thinking, it felt like 5 minutes. I looked back at my father, who saw the face and seemed a little shocked himself. He pulled himself together and told my girlfriend to leave. She left without saying goodbye. My father then gave me a talk about disobeying and some other stuff, but most of the time I wasn't listening. I was too busy thinking about that man. He seemed to have moved the moment I looked away, which I couldn't understand how that could happen. There was also the fact that we started watching it at 9:30 and had been interrupted at 12:30. We had been watching the man for 3 hours straight without looking away or blinking. Once my dad was finished lecturing, I had to sleep. I wanted to talk to my girlfriend about the video and what happened. I woke up the next morning like normal. I got out of bed, took a shower, and got dressed. Looked out my window for a brief second and noticed something out of the ordinary. It looked like a black smudge on my lawn. I looked again, and it was gone. I shook it out of my mind, thinking it was some stray cat or a raccoon, because that's probably what it was. I walked to the kitchen, grabbed my lunch, and started walking to the door to wait for my bus. At the corner of my eye, I saw something move. I turned quickly and ended up staring out my kitchen window. I walked slowly towards it to look outside. When I reached I looked around my lawn slowly, taking in as much detail as I could to see if there was any change, but there was nothing. I was starting to get scared until I heard the bus stop outside. I ran out the door and raced to the bus. Once I reached it, I almost collided with the door to the bus. The driver opened it and I walked onto the shuttle. I sat down quickly and stared out my seat's window. Everything was normal around my lawn. As I was running towards the bus, I had the feeling of being chased. I felt like I was literally running for my life. Thinking about what was happening, so as the bus started moving, I looked away from my window and decided to listen to some music on my iPod. But when I looked away from the window, out of the corner of my eye, I saw something move again. I looked back at my house just in time to see a man standing by on my lawn before the bus moved him out of my vision. His hair covered his face as he looked down. I didn't know what to do. Should I call the police? No, the man didn't do anything. Not yet. He was just scaring me. But how did he find me? Do I know him? I needed to talk to my girlfriend about this. I arrived at school and waited till second period to talk to her. It was the only study hall we had together. Once second period arrived, she didn't show up. I asked her friends where she was, and they said they didn't know. I assumed she was sick, and I would visit her after school. Her house wasn't a far walk from our school. This wasn't like her. Her project was due today, and if she was sick, she would have texted me or her friends. The moment the last school bell rang, I sprinted to her house. I knocked on her door, and there was no response. I slammed on the door loud enough for the neighbors to hear me. Still no response. Even if she wasn't home, my girlfriend's mom is a stay-at-home mom who is always home after school. I tried to turn the doorknob, and surprisingly, the door was unlocked. I opened the door slowly and yelled in to see if anyone was home. No response. I yelled that I was coming in, and I didn't expect a response, and I didn't receive one. All the lights were off, and I walked into the darkness. I felt the wall through the nearest light switch and turned it on. The room was illuminated for brief seconds before the light bulb burst. I am still not sure about what I saw in those short seconds, but I thought there was a quick glimpse of a woman in the doorway to the kitchen. I found some curtains covering a window and opened them. The room was now filled with sunlight. I looked towards the kitchen doorway, and it was empty. I didn't go to the kitchen. I didn't feel the need to yet. I went upstairs to my girlfriend's room instead. I opened the door to her room and stopped. I was hit with an unexplainable, horrid stench. My eyes burned. Once my eyes were able to dilate, I saw her. And him. My girlfriend was on the floor, kneeling, looking directly at the man. Almost every inch of her body was sliced open and bloody. I just stood there, horrified at what I was witnessing. It seemed like an eternity of staring at the man and my girlfriend before my girlfriend finally spoke. All she was able to say to me was, "I'm sorry." Then she turned around to look at me, and her eyes, dear God, her eyes. They were sliced down the middle of each one, making one half red and the other white. I only had time to hold out my hand to try and grab her before the man... No, the monster fell on her and started to rip off her skin and devour her like a wild animal. I could only stand there and watch. Her heart-wrenching scream must have filled the entire neighborhood's ears. I turned to run, but the moment I looked away, I got pounced on. The monster slammed me to the ground and started to rip my skin off. Each time its fingers ripped off more skin and shoved it into its horribly disfigured mouth, I just screamed. My screams were almost as loud as my girlfriend's. I don't know how, but I was able to move myself and the monster towards the stairs. We toppled down them, and I felt my arm break. The sound of cracking bone filled the house. The monster fell off of me, and I was able to get up and run towards the front door. The pain on my back and in my arm was unbearable. I sprinted out the door and tripped on the steps. I felt my face collide into the concrete. My nose broke, and the skin on my face was almost completely torn off. I could see through one eye, and the other was covered in blood. It was standing in the doorway, looking at me. I was unable to move. I was in so much pain that I wanted to die. I was sure that the monster was going to kill me. But of course, that didn't happen, because if I did die, I wouldn't be writing this. He just looked at me for a couple more seconds before finally saying 3 unforgettable words. Don't look down. And then I blacked out. I woke up in a hospital 3 days later. That's what my nurse told me. I was still in horrible pain, but the medicine helped to ease it a little. I never saw my back since then, but I'm sure the monster tore the skin off until there was only bone. The police came to ask me questions about what happened. I tried to tell them everything, but as I continued to tell the story, it seemed more and more unbelievable. They thought I was crazy. They stopped the search for my girlfriend's killers days later because of unreliable evidence. The day they stopped the search was also the day I had gotten the news. My father had gone off-road and crashed into some forest. When the police found his car, my father was not inside of it. His body has not been found to this day, and I'm sure the man had gotten him. There was no one with my father, so the man probably devoured everything. I left the hospital months later with an almost unrecognizable face, a crooked back, and a broken mind. I went home to find only my mother hanging from the fan. I didn't bother to call the police. I went straight to my computer to find that video. After backtracking through my history, I found the video before The Man Who Looked Down. But it wasn't there. The video had changed my life. And it was gone. I gave up shortly after looking through other videos. I closed the web browser and started writing this. Halfway through writing this, though, I got an email. It was a video link. I knew it was the man, but I forced myself to click the link. And there he was, standing in front of another house. But this house was familiar. It was familiar because it was my house. He is behind me, and I can hear his soft wheezing. I can smell his horrible, death-soaked breath. I can feel his eyes staring through me. He isn't looking down. He is looking at me. He looks for his victims on the internet. I am writing this as a warning to everyone. Don't look for me. For once I get the story somewhere on the internet, I will turn around and look down. My only regret is leaving my little sister all alone. Please forgive me, Julie. Alrighty, y'all. First ever creepypasta. There you go, everybody. Let me see how it sounds real quick. Okie dokie, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I got a couple more, maybe one more I'm going to do for y'all. Oh, let's see. Ooh, new comments, y'all. I'm so glad y'all commented. All right, let's see. Someone says, Discord King of Chaos says, yeah, I love creepypastas. My favorite is Creepypasta Land. Ooh. Koi Fish says, I want your vest. Well, I did get it at Hot Topic. Don't shop at Hot Topic. I know what song is. Alan Yu says, this has nothing to do with creepy spaghetti, but you've got some gnarly chest hair growing out. Indeed, I do, good sir. It is pretty gnarly. Everything about, I have incredibly gnarly chest hair. I'm a very hairy person. Guile Harame Burger. I can't say your name, buddy. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you Guile. Or Gilly. Gilly. Okay. Caleb, just relax. By the way, Disney creepypastas are really awesome. Just saying. They really are. They're super good. Creepypastas that are intense yet realistically possible are the best in my opinion. I 100% agree, sulfuric acid. There's the realistic ones can be very frightening. Remember, Caleb, October is creepypasta month. Have fun. Thank you, Tristan. Oswald V says, in the creepypasta mood today. And he's got that Mickey Mouse swag. Javier Ortega says, my favorite is The Rake. I actually have yet to read The Rake. So, Samantha C says, I adore Slenderman, but cannot stand Jeff the Killer. Shudders. Ooh. Koi Fish says, they can hear me. Tristan says, you can hear me loud and clear. Old Life says, yes, I can hear you. Koi Fish says, can't hear it when you're talking. Tame Creeper says, it kind of was. And yay, me. Siesta La Via says, I can't wait for the day I actually have a good mix so I can do a collab with you. Man, the strive for the perfect mix. It is really difficult. Moliaper 3000 says, hi, Caleb. Mikhail Jorgensen says, didn't need sleep anyway. Alan Yu says, I remember these fairy tales. Papa used to read these by our bedside. Natasha Love says, I love the way you read. Thank you very much, Natasha. I appreciate that. I'm trying to work my way through it. I'm really influenced by the big ones, Mr. Creepypasta and Creeps Me Pasta, but I'm trying to do something. I try to do something a little different, but I'm trying to figure it out. So we're working on it. If you read this, my life will be complete. True Gamer 5. Dang. I mean, that's awesome. I just made someone's life today. Their whole life was just made. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh man, oh no. Trying to do newest first, and this thing's like, there we go. Slim Rico says, pretty good. Personally, I like horror stories that are based on true stories. Okay. I really wish, guys, I could do the Q&A thing from a Google Plus Hangout, but it says this feature is disabled, and I don't know how to re-enable.
Okay.
I'm like, why'd you get turned off? Like, I didn't do anything.
Maybe they know. Do they know?
If anyone knows how to turn the Q&A back on, because I click the button and it's like, this feature is disabled. I'm like, I want to re-enable. Can we re-enable this? Because I would appreciate that. I never told you to disable. Because then y'all could like start posting things and I could see it. And I could like, you can thumbs up which one you want to me to talk about, or me to creepypasta you want me to do. Excuse me.
By the way,
What happened?
your thing is ready to send.
What thing?
I this thing. You wanna see it?
Oh, I like that.
October 29th, 7:30 p.m.
I like that a lot.
Cool. And then your Disney trivia nights. Actually, if you want to announce it to people right now, that's cool too.
Yeah, what night is it?
Your Disney trivia nights are going to be October 22nd and 22nd and 27th at 7:30 p.m.
My Disney trivia nights, guys, are going to be October 22nd and October 27th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time, my time. So October 22nd and 27th, Disney trivia nights. Kayla Makes Magic, 22nd and 27th. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. A super amount of fun. Let's see. What are the creepypasta have I listened to recently that I really liked?
You should pick ones that could happen in real life because people seem to really like that.
They do like those, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
My black and white went away.
Any color now?
Hmm.
Does anyone have cool, scary Halloween plans?
Yeah, does anyone have any cool, scary Halloween plans? Anything creepy?
Has anyone seen Annabelle as a kid?
Tony Tremaine says, I love how you put emotion into it. Missy Quist says, I really, really love the way you read that. I'm totally enthralled. Yay. That is good to know, guys. That's really good to know. All right. I'm going to find, I wish I had better music too. Pasta.
You can tell them this is like kind of a trial run. And the
Yeah.
next 2 times will be much
This is
more.
kind of a trial run, guys. You can see it's called Creepypasta Impromptu because I'm really trying to work this out to see how it sounds, run through it a couple times before I super commit to it. But
So feedback is well.
but yes, I appreciate your feedback and feel free to say whatever you will because I need it. So many Jeff the Killer stuff. Kara, we need to do a creepypasta of that one with his girl, the one that he chose to come into reality or whatever that was.
Oh yeah, that would be fun.
What was that one called?
The friend that didn't happen.
The friend that almost didn't happen or didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
My best friend never happened. That's what it was called. That was really good. Do I have a whistle register? Old Life New Project says. I do not have a whistle register. Not that I'm aware of. Maybe I could find it. Who knows? Needs some spooky, scary skeletons, says Blue Dude 55. Aiden Higby says, make one up. I dare you. Mr. Tweety 918 says, fan of the opera creepypasta?
Never heard of that.
I never heard of that one either. Need some spooky, scary skeletons. Okay, I need to figure out a story before everyone dips on me because I don't have another one. All right. How would y'all feel if I read one that I haven't actually read yet? Read one live that I do not know anything about. Like, what if I read this?
You might try that.
And I'd probably trip up really bad, but you'd also get some genuine reactions from me. Read it yet. So what do y'all think about that? Answer quickly so I may continue on with the stream. By the way, I also am working on a creepypasta that is happening. And maybe after this one, I'll explain my creepypasta idea to you guys. Because I think I have a pretty vivid imagination when it comes to things that are scary. And I think anyone who actually actively seeks out creepypastas probably also has a vivid imagination. And stuff like The Man Who Looked Down is pretty frightening. The Rake's really frightening. Jeff the Killer, Abandoned by Disney, all that stuff really freaks me out. But I'm trying to think of what would freak me out. What bothers me? Because a lot of the times with people who do creepypastas and like scary stuff, we almost take what we're given and make it about a billion times scarier. So what could I take, and what genuinely would frighten me more than anything? And that's kind of where I'm coming from. And I'll tell you all the story as soon as I read another one to let y'all know, because I'm really excited for it. I'm trying to write it and work all the kinks out because I think it's a really cool story idea. But I talk with my friend Phil and Kara, and we're all just like, this is a great idea, but how do you make it full? You know, it's this really base, scary idea, but you don't want to. You just try to straddle the line between telling a story and having characters and being creepy, but not giving too much detail. It's harder than I thought. Much harder than I thought. All right, let's see here. I'm waiting for y'all to give me good to go on reading it. Someone said, give it a shot. What would you lose? I'd love that genuine reaction, dude. That would be awesome. Whatever you will. There, I said it. I want you to dress up in a Slenderman suit and scare the crap out of some people. On another note, do you listen to music like 3 Days Grace or Breaking Benjamin? Yes, I do. Not all the time, but they're pretty good. Breaking Benjamin over 3 Days Grace. All right, I've got enough good to goes here. How about a creepypasta about a video game in the middle of development? Ooh, I like that. All right, guys. Another creepypasta coming your way. I don't know why my black and white went away, but it did. So we're just gonna have to deal without black and white for a bit, guys. Actually, I think I could end the thing and then bring it back, but I don't want to do that because then it would start it over and then it'd have another video, and it's just not worth it.
Should I have a restroom before then?
Yes, you should go to the restroom.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're fine. You are fine. Oh, it just got way darker.
Because I'm done with the computer.
Oh, that's really frightening. I don't like how dark this is. Guys, I don't like how dark it is. I don't like that door right there. You can turn a light on.
I mean, you're fine.
Not good. Oh, that's creepy. Hi, everybody. I don't like this. I don't like this vest. I don't like being here. There are going to be things behind me. And it's going to be scary. Those are my cats. Kitties. I said kitties with a K. Not the other word. If you misheard. Oh, that just looks all kinds of frightening on this screen. Just a figure coming out of the back. Oh, that's really not funny, hitting me with things. What'd you hit me with? What the frick was that? Dang, no, the cat's gonna start playing around with it. They're gonna make no. Oh, that's creepy.
What?
Nothing. Okay, here we go. Oh gosh. All right, you ready? You gonna just listen, Kara?
Yes.
All right, guys, buckle up. We are doing. Wait, what is? I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to take a picture.
I'm trying.
I don't want to take a picture.
Slides impromptu.
It is impromptu. This is why. Because we're just working out the kinks, everybody. Thanks for sticking around for the kinks. Alrighty, guys. This one is called The Rake. Have you heard of The Rake, Kara?
Yes.
I'm going to start some horror music. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural New York State and once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions ranged from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remain powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, the collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group, and we were able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book. A Suicide Note, 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I felt it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form, once again I awoke and heard his voice and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what might next awake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were 2 empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and 1 loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lenny, I have prayed for you. He spoke your name. Another book, a journal entry, translated from Spanish, 1880. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I have experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They are hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand. I will not sleep. His voice. His voice. The rest of the text is unintelligible. A Mariner's Log, 1691. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the rake. From a witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him, though he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet up from the end of the bed so quickly his knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for half a second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man, or a large, hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled around the side of the bed and then crawled quickly into a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot away from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds. Just looking. The creature then placed its hand on his knee and ran into the hallway, leading to the kids' room. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter, Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very, very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. All she said was, "He is the rake." My husband drove his car into the lake that night while rushing our daughter to the hospital. They did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen the creature we now referred to as the rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small connection of what we believe to be accounts of the rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the rake. And that was the last entry in his log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. This led us to wonder if the rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running all night, every night for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times the normal speed. This still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to describe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I've heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything at the time, but for some reason the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the rake since he ruined my life. But I know that he's in my room while I sleep. I know in fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me. And there's the rake. That's really creepy. I don't like that. I like it and I don't like it because that's really unsettling. Whew. Ugh. Okay then. There's that. Excuse me.
Golly, Pete. I'm sure everyone's enjoying that in their earphones.
Excuse me. Let's see what people think. Let's see. True Gamer 5 says, "Did you see that behind you, Caleb?" Ugh. Favorite video game? Sorry if this has been asked before. Kind of new to your vids and love them. Sure thing, Dark. Darkside. I'm just gonna say them all. Darkside, Derek Sade. Favorite video game is Shadow of the Colossus. I love Shadow of the Colossus. Tofu Wolf says you read it really good. Thank you, Tofu.
Tofu. Or heavy.
Gail Berger says, okay, the rake is really creepy. And yes, it is. The Darkest Inferno says, the rake just wanted a friend. Michael McCall says, it's not even creepy. I thought it was pretty creepy. Like, really creepy.
What would creepy be?
And now everyone is simultaneously yawning because I yawned. What'd you say, Kara?
I was just wondering, what is creepy? The rake's pretty creepy.
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess what's creepier than the rake? If you're still there, Michael, I would like to know what is creepy to you so we can read that. Because I'd like to read it. That's actually a cool idea. Because if there's something you think is creepier, then we totally need to look at it. Because everyone's creepiness levels are subjective, but what creeps someone else out might not creep them out. But that's cool, though. We all have something that speaks to us.
What's scary to everyone?
Amy says, it didn't scare me when I first read it, but now it does. Michael McCall says, sing something.
Sing something.
Just sing. If you want to go to my fan page, guys, and check out my latest entry for Horror for Hiles, I am singing in it. And if anyone can guess what that song is, you're going to get a lot of points.
Like a lot of points.
Like a lot of points. Here's a hint. The song's not even released yet. Technically.
Oh my gosh.
Adian says, full attention for 10 minutes. That was really good. Nice job.
Nice.
One Winged Raven says, the rake gave me nightmares for months.
Oh.
True Gamer says, you should watch the fan-made rake movies.
What?
There are, on the Creepypasta page, there are totally, like, rake amateur films.
No.
And, like, they have, like, old ladies, like, talking about it.
Me.
Oof. No, thank you. No, thank you.
I don't want to do it.
Oh, my gosh. Kara, look at this. On Creepypasta. Look at this person's profile pic. Do you recognize that? Oh, someone knows what's up.
Oh,
Someone knows what's up. The
terrifying.
walled woman is
That's
so messed up.
Scary. That needs to be a creepypasta.
That does. Guys, I watched this show called Yamashibai.
Oh my
It's an
gosh.
anime, and there's this one called The Wall Woman, and it's like so messed up.
Terrifying. Also, you want to know something kind of creepy?
Huh?
You want to know something kind of creepy?
What?
I totally closed that closet door. I'm pretty sure it's open. Like I always close that closet door.
I went in there last to get this vest.
Okay, good. I knew the rest of the explanation, but it was really creepy.
That's really.
Hey, does everyone like this? Will they come back for the next readings?
We all come back for the next readings. Do y'all enjoy this? As Kara said. I can't type in Yamashibai in the freaking Google images without getting that really creepy contradiction picture, which I don't appreciate.
Yamashibai. So you're gonna ask Halloween. Yamashibai guy.
I'm going to be the Yamashibai guy. Yamashibai. All right, I'm going to look at your comments again, guys, and see what y'all are saying so we can read the creepypasta.
What?
How about a Pokemon creepypasta?
Oh, those are always good.
Alfred Moreno says.
And then play Lavender Town. You could find the Lavender Town thing on 10-hour loop.
Lavender Town 10-hour loop.
Why not?
What's a good Pokemon creepypasta, guys? That isn't like 45 minutes. And don't give me Ben Drowned, because that's not even fair. That thing's far too long. What is creepypasta the? No, not the rake, the. I get a whole lot of the rake, the theater.
Do we have a link to it? Yamashibai.
Hold on a second. Sorry, guys, I got wrapped up in creepypasta stuff. All right, let's see. Newest first. What are people saying? Your cat made me jump. Molly LeBlue says when it jumped on mine. Right? You think like the rake crawled into my lap, started gnawing my face off. Wouldn't that be frightening? Let's think about that for a second. One Winged Draven says, very much so, to attend it again. Amy Nguyen says, of course. True Gamer says, absolutely, so long as I'm lucky. This was sheer luck as I was just about going to bed. Hopefully some will be scheduled. And yes, they will be scheduled, True Gamer. The ones coming out. If you go to my fan page, my cover photo says the days, and I will put the times out soon.
It'll be at night, though.
And it'll be at night.
Probably like
my time.
after 8.
Probably after 8. You know, we'll make it happen. So you guys want a video game creepypasta? Because I can totally do that. I have one pulled up. Kara, I'm not looking at it, whatever it is.
No, wait, no.
What is it?
It's
Is it creepy?
no.
What is it? Tell me.
Nothing. No, trust me. Oh my god.
Oh, okay, I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's my face. She's streaming me. I'm just so used to friends doing that junk to me. I'm so ready for it.
Oh my gosh, tell them how you like punched me because
I punched you? Oh yeah. I have a friend, Neil, and Kara, when they actually started hanging out, we were all hanging out one night, and they decided, I was in my room and I had to go get something, and they decided they were going to stand outside my door on either side and scare me when I stepped out. So I stepped out of the door and they went, "Bah!" in front of my face. And I freaked. I did a quick scream, and then I did like this double move, like wrestling, like hit them both directly in their chests.
Oh my gosh, it hurts so bad.
And Neil like fell down and went like just on the ground. He went to a bed that was near him, and then Kara was just like laughing, kind of ow, ow, ow. So clearly, I'm the fight, not flight kind of be scared person. But then again, those are people, so I was able to register those as a person. So if a rake ever came out and scared the crap out of me, I don't know. I probably would run. Maybe. I'd like to think I would run.
I know better than to scare you after that. I've never.
Yeah, no one scared me after that. Here's what's great though: so when you hurt somebody, they don't mess with you again. Stay in school, kids. Stay in school. I'm a great influence.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
You're fine.
Creepypastas.
All right, I'm just reading some more comments.
Spooky spaghetti.
Michael McCall says, if you can't find creepypasta, make it your own creepypasta. Gilmore says, you're voicing Stephen King stories. That would be great. Ace of Spades says, any more Evil Within? Yes, more Evil Within will be coming soon. I definitely want to play some more of it, and we will be streaming every time. A good pokey pasta is Sonic XE or Lost Silver. Sonic XE. Huh. That's not really Pokemon. At least I don't think it is. The worst thing is like reading typing in these creepypastas, guys, and getting all the images. Like, I hate that. All right, hold on.
You actually are kind of a pansy when it comes to scary things.
I am a pansy when it comes to scary things, guys.
Love, hate.
Love, hate, you know. All right. So, guys, we are going to do Sonic.exe just to do ourselves another video game creepypasta. Actually, Kara, if you want to, can you grab me my my Synex real quick? Wait, where is the Synex?
Right there on that desk.
No, it's not.
Yeah, okay.
Where?
On that desk. Oh. I'm going to throw something at you.
No, this is the fluff tonight.
Oh no. Oh, maybe it's in the bathroom then. It's really creepy as mirrors without any lights on.
Huh?
It's really creepy as mirrors when there's no lights on.
Yes, I agree.
Sure, people want to see that.
Synex, everybody, is a decongestant, and my left nostril is stopped up, and it's preventing me from really speaking clearly. So hopefully,
but they're not sponsoring this.
But they're not sponsoring me. I wish they did. That'd be nice. Vix, if you want to give me a call, I will sponsor your decongestant medicine, hands down, no questions asked. I wish this would switch to. Okay, my nose is starting to clear up a little bit. I can feel the vapors. Deidre Kameda says, hi! Dark Angel 99 says, I should really be sleeping, but Caleb is better than sleep.
Oh,
Tofu Wolf says, I think there's a Pikachu creepypasta.
Ooh, there's Pikachu.
Well, there are plenty of those. Ow, frick. Speaking of Pikachu, that didn't freak you out that you didn't think you'd see a Pikachu. Oh, look at when it has the white on it.
What? Stop. Okay. You're going to hurt someone's eyes.
I'll stop. That's probably really creepy.
Okay. Read your story before people leave.
Pikachu. Pikachu, Venusaur, my knee. Guess Goofy's weight. Win a prize. 128. No. It's too low. All right. Let's see. Darkest Inferno says, here's a link to one of my favorites. I'd be happy if you read it. I don't trust it. I'm going to click it and there's going to be a pop-up. I don't trust it. I don't trust it, Darkest. I don't trust it.
It's on no sleep. It's fine. It's fair.
Click it. What pulls up? It's going to be Jeff the Killer's face. You know, I'm right.
No. This is it. It's just one of the stories.
What's that face over there on the right?
Just science fiction.
Looks creepy. Okay, I clicked it.
Oh my gosh, I actually know this one.
You do?
Yeah, it's good.
I'm trying to get my nose unclogged, but it's not working.
Did you get both sides?
I didn't do the other side. The other side's perfectly fine.
Oh, okay.
At least maybe you do need to do both. Ow! Oh my gosh! I also have a rash right on the front of my nose.
I'm sure people want to see that too.
They're here and they're awesome. They're willing to stick through this together.
You lost like all sex appeal, I'm sure.
I don't care. What, do sexy people not sneeze or get sick?
Nope, sex people do not get sick.
Oh.
You ever hear about Justin Bieber getting a cold? Nope.
No. You're right. Justin Bieber never gets sick. Therefore, he has continuous sex appeal. And I just shot a bunch of chemicals into my nose for absolutely no reason because it doesn't help.
This change, it always works for me. Always.
This is why this is very strange that it's not working.
Don't blow in front of everyone else. Gross everyone out.
Everyone is going to be fine. I lost 2 viewers.
Probably because of you not doing
They're
anything.
like, you're not doing creepypasta, you're just blowing your nose.
Probably unsubscribe.
I don't subscribe to, let's be real.
Anyway.
All right, guys. I'm actually going to do Obsessive Compulsive because it has a lot of thumbs up on Reddit, and it was sent by The Darkest Inferno, I believe. Yes. Here we go, guys. Hello, I suffer from obsessive compulsive disorder, which is an anxiety disorder in which people have unwanted and repeated thoughts, feelings, ideas, or behaviors. In other words, my life is a systematic pattern. But yesterday, I experienced a flaw in my own system. I awoke that morning in my lakeside home promptly at 6:45 a.m., as I do every morning. Before leaving my bedroom, I made sure to touch the doorknob 3 times. I have to. I need to. On my way downstairs, I made sure not to step on the second to last step. I never touch that step. I just can't. I made my usual breakfast of toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. I never eat anything else in the morning, just always those 3. Turning my iPad on, I made sure to check the local news headlines like usual. But today, something was missing. I couldn't place my finger on it. Did I forget something? The strange feeling lingered with me all the way to the car. On my way out the front door, I made it certain to lock my door, then unlock it and lock it again. Driving to work, I couldn't help but feel like a part of me was missing. What did I miss? How could I possibly have missed it? I hoped that the feeling would surpass while I was at work that day. It did not. It stayed with me for 12 whole hours. I left the office around 6:45 p.m. to head back home. About 25 minutes into my commute, I stopped for the red traffic light at the intersection of Marbury and Westway. But as the light turned from red to green, I couldn't help but feel that strange sensation again. The only other person near me was the man driving behind me. He blared his horn for me to get going, but instead of accelerating, I just unrolled my window and motioned for him to go around me. He did. I dreadfully sat there in my car, still stopped at the intersection. Something is seriously wrong. What am I missing here? I made sure to touch everything in my car, hoping that would spark my memory. I touched the dashboard, the leather seats, the emergency brake, even the roof. It did nothing for me. My hands began to tremble as I slowly drove away. This isn't right. This is not right. I don't like this. Arriving home, I pulled my '74 Mustang into the garage. I washed the car every weekday, never on weekends. I only washed the front of the car and the back, never the sides. No matter how dirty they get, I never wash the sides. I simply just can't. But something else seemed to be missing from my daily routine as I washed. No, not again. First the news, then the intersection, now this. Finishing up with the car, I jogged out to the backyard. Only jog, never walk, never run. Opening the tool shed, I felt yet another thing missing from my pattern. I screamed, "This isn't right! This is not right! This isn't right!" I stumbled out of the shed and gazed out at the lake. It always seemed to calm me when my anxiety got out of control. But tonight, all I wanted to do was sleep. I needed to finish this day. The next morning, I woke at 6:45 a.m., touched the doorknob 3 times, made sure not to step on the second to last step on my way to the kitchen. I prepared my toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee. I turned on the iPad, browsed the local news. It's still missing. I became aggravated. What is it I could possibly be missing? I began to feel nauseous. Hurrying out the door in a vicious rage, I quickly locked the door, unlocked it, and locked it again. I drove off to work. I tend to get a lot of work done when I'm upset, strangely. So at least I felt some accomplishment when I left the office at 6:45 p.m. I drove fast on my way home, very fast. What am I missing? I approached the red light at Marbury and Westway. Come on, think. Think! A man was walking in the middle of the intersection on his way to the other side. Why can't I remember? The man's head spun as he noticed my Mustang coming straight for him at 85 miles per hour. I noticed him too. A wave of horror crossed over my face as I watched him dive to one side. I swerved into the same direction. A loud clunk was made as I crushed the man underneath my vehicle. Oh, God. Jumping out of my car, I hesitated on what to do. He lay there writhing in agony, making horrendous guttural wails. I popped open the truck to my Mustang, lifted the screaming man, and heaved him in. I drove. Upon entering my garage, I made sure to wash the blood off the front of the car and the rear of the car. The sides were not necessary. And dragging his broken body out to the backyard, I jogged to the shed. Inside were black garbage bags, cinder blocks, and a hacksaw. After dismembering the man, I was able to fit both the remains and a cinder block into the bag. Dropping him into the lake was all that was left to do. The following morning, I made sure to wake at 6:45 a.m. and touch my doorknob 3 times before skipping the second to last step on my way to the kitchen. While eating my toast, scrambled eggs, and black coffee, I browsed the local news on my iPad. The top headline: "Hit and run serial killer strikes again." I smiled. Everything's back to normal. And there's the end of that. Obsessive compulsive. That was really good. I liked that. That was just kind of cool.
Very tight writing.
Very tight writing.
Reminded me very Poe-like.
Edgar Allan Poe. It does have that repetition. That was a good one. I liked that one.
Excuse you.
Excuse me. Excuse me, y'all. I also forgot I didn't activate my music, my creepypasta music.
You need it.
I needed it. I needed the music. It sets the ambiance.
Are you becoming OCD?
I've never been OCD.
Yes, you have.
Not really.
Mm-hmm. What do people say?
Huh?
Read comments.
Let's read comments. I have to wait. Did I close it? Oh, I closed it. Why did I close it? Why would I close it? Okay, there we go. Back. Reading y'all's comments.
Do I like that?
See what y'all liked about that.
I hate it.
Let's see. Okay. Alfredo Moreno says, I should be doing my homework right now, but I chose to procrastinate. Amen, brother. Good job. I shouldn't, I should not condone that. Geronimo Castro says something in Spanish, but since I have Google Translate, I'm going to find out what you said, good sir.
Appendix dominating death.
Appendix dominating death? Let's see. You said, Brazil's here. Ha 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 ha. I admire your channel and especially your voice. I admire your channel and especially your voice. Oh, wait. Did you already put it in? Did I not? Oh, you already translated it for me. Oh, thank you, Geronimo. Indy Wesley says, read Burger's entries. That looks creepy. Brandon Ross says, oh no, Caleb has Ebola because of the sniffles.
No, I was vomiting.
Ethan says, I think his sniffling adds sex appeal. One Week Draven says, yes, this one is awesome. Gabe Reynolds says, hi guys. Hi, Gabe. Hannah says, one of my favorite pastas is called River Country Film, which I've been wanting to read, or Tiki Toby, or Clockwork. They are cool. Could you read The Russian Sleep Experiment, please? Always been a favorite.
Oh, that's a good one. That's kind of long.
Daedric Kamita says, dear people, hello friends, goodbye.
Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye, Daedric. Colton H says, that one was really good. Amy Nguyen says, darn, that's creepy. Big old face. Aiden says, sweet baby Jesus, that was amazing. That one is really good. I enjoyed reading that one, if you couldn't tell.
Did a really good job of acting that one, too. Really good. You sounded very OCD. It was very convincing.
Oh, yeah. If you want to, guys, you can read along. That's pretty tight if you kind of lose some words there.
Especially while you pick your nose.
Tofu Wolf says, have you ever heard of Animal Crossing New Leaf or played it? Unrelated topic. Yes, I have. Okay, I don't know what burger entries is. I'm going to see how long it is, but it does sound interesting. Is there going to be some creepy freaking image, guys? Because I can't be handling this right now.
Don't be a pansy. Oh my gosh. You're being the biggest pansy. There's a Pikachu doll right here. You can hold it, make it feel better. Oh my, you're just standing really creepily. Why are you standing like that? Oh my gosh. It's a real animal.
What was that, Where the Children Go?
Where the bad children go?
Where the bad children go? Where the bad kids go. That's what it was.
Is that one okay?
Yes, I love that one, but it's super creepy.
Oh my gosh, Ame thinks this is a real animal.
What does? Oh, no, she does not.
Yes, look at this. Look at her. You're missing this. Oh my gosh, she's so petrified.
Oh, no, don't do that to her.
Poor thing.
Kara's playing tricks on our cat.
I didn't mean to scare you. I didn't know why she wasn't coming over to me.
Burger's entry is long, but it looks really interesting.
Wait, I want to get water. Sorry.
Damon McKinney Jr. says that was the best one so far. Daedric said, I really like your stuff, and my friend Dark suggested you to me. Awesome. Thank you, Dark. Mike Mack says, show us your video games. Oh, okay. And Elisa DeBay says, what time is it even? Right now it's 11:48 a.m. What the frick? My clock is all kinds of off. It is not 11:48 a.m. It's 11:48 p.m., yo. Okay, now we got that set on straight. All right, behind me, I have more games than this, but since I figured I'd acknowledge them, this right here in this one section, I decided I'd display these. But I have my Tales of Symphonia collection. Let me turn this up here. There you go. Oh gosh, never mind. Just this. There you go. So Caleb doesn't know what just happened, but I am here, and I don't know. That was weird. I'm just glad it happened when I wasn't reading a story, so we could all still be here and be friends.
No,
Yay.
no. No.
I want to see how many people go away whenever the video clip shows up that I disappeared randomly. It just randomly shut off. It was so weird. I was showing off my Tales games. And it was like, no, I hate you.
Here you go.
What? Oh, can you put it right there, please? Thank you very much.
I brought myself a snack.
Yeah, it's going to reflect anyway. Yeah, here's my Tales of Symphonia games, guys. I want to play through all of them. The only one I've played through full all the way, actually none of them. It's really sad. But I love the ones I played. I played Tales of Symphonia almost all the way through. Tales of Vesperia, really close, I think. And I haven't played any other ones, but I love the fighting style. I love the games. And
Why are you boring them?
oh, someone asked.
Oh.
Someone asked, and I would oblige.
Do y'all think his vest is cheesy looking?
I already asked that, and people said, no, it's not. I want one.
Oh. I think one person said that.
Everybody, all 37 of them said it was awesome.
By the way, we should get only these Pringles.
I know, they're super good. Fiesta tortilla chip Pringles are dynamite, y'all. Dynamite. All right, guys, we're going to do another creepypasta. This is one I really love. It's called Where Bad Kids Go. So if you haven't heard of this one, it's short, it's sweet. Sweet.
It's good to eat.
And it's just pretty darn creepy. So we're going to start actually this music for this one. What? Oh, thank you. Here we go, y'all. I must have been 6 or 7 when I lived in Lebanon. The country was ravaged by war at the time, and murders were common and frequent. I remember during a particularly vicious era, when the bombings rarely stopped, I would stay at home sitting in front of my television watching a very, very strange show. It was a kids' show that lasted about 30 minutes and contained strange and sinister images. To this day, I believe it was a thinly veiled attempt on the part of the media to use scare tactics to keep the kids in place, because the moral of every episode revolved around very uptight ideologies. Stuff like, bad kids stay up late, and bad kids have their hands under the covers when they sleep, and bad kids steal food from the fridge at night. It was very weird, and in Arabic to top it off. I didn't understand much of it, but for the most part, the images were very graphic and comprehensive. The thing that stuck with me the most, however, was the closing sequence. It was the same in every episode. The camera would zoom in on an old, rusted, closed door. As it got closer to the door, strange and sometimes even agonizing screams would become more audible. It was extremely frightening, especially for children's programming. Then a text would appear on the screen in Arabic reading. That's where the bad kids go. Eventually, both the image and the sound would fade out. And that would be the end of the episode. About 15 or 16 years later, I became a journalistic photographer. That show had been in my mind all my life, popping up in my thoughts sporadically. Eventually, I had had enough and decided to do some research. I finally managed to uncover the location of the studio where much of that channel's programming had been recorded. Upon further research and eventually traveling on site, I found out it was now desolate and had been abandoned after the big war had ended. I entered the building with my camera. It was burnt out from the inside. Either a fire had broken out or someone had wanted to incinerate all of the wooden furniture. After a few hours of cautiously making my way into the studio and snapping pictures, I found an isolated, out-of-the-way room. After having to break through a few old locks and managing to break the heavy door open, I remained frozen in the doorway for several long minutes. Traces of blood, feces, and tiny bone fragments lay scattered across the floor. It was a small room and an extremely morbid scene. What truly frightened me, though, what made me turn away and never want to come back, was the bolted and caged microphone hanging from the ceiling in the middle of the room. And that's where the bad kids go. Hope y'all liked that one.
Are you a bad kid, kid?
I was a bad kid. That's where I would have gone.
Yikes.
I like that one a lot. I feel like that could have just been done up so much bigger. I remember listening to it thinking, oh man, this is going to get intense. But it just kind of ends. But I still really like it. And it is really creepy, all in all. The imagery that comes to mind when you hear that, I almost wish someone would make like a test footage of it because it is really creepy. Hannah says, you keep saying y'all. Are you from the South? Random question, I know, but I'm still curious. Yes, I am from the South. I'm actually the deepest part of South. I'm in Alabama. I'm in Auburn right now. And one week it says, by the way, the vest is cool. Keep the vest. Mike says the vest looks bad ace. Andy96 is typing, says Indy Weasley. Wait, what's Andy96? Is that one with the Facebook girlfriend one? Or is that a different one? Forgotten Slumber says, you listen to Creepypasta? Awesome. Indy Weasley says, the M Show fan club. It's short but sweet. Raven Scorn says, sup. Sup, Raven. Hannah says, I love where the bad kids go. That's one of my favorites. Adidas says, Caleb, I recommend you browse the R No Sleep subreddit on reddit.com and click the tab Best Of. And all time, there's some really, really good stories there. I definitely intend to. Because there were some really good ones there, guys. I don't know what this M Fan Show Club one, but it sounds really cool. I'm just so scared of creepy imagery.
Are you big pansy?
I am.
You should ask them what scares them.
What scares y'all? All right.
Someone tweeted you that you should do Zelda Majora's Mask.
If I played Zelda, I remember being a kid actually watching my cousin play Zelda the Majora's Mask, and I was eerily intrigued by it because when he put on the masks, it was so strange. He would like scream.
Or didn't we watch the whole thing?
Well, we watched Ben drown, but I mean, I'm talking about when I first saw Majora's Mask, like in my life. I wanted to play it. It looked really cool, but it was frightening. The M Show fan club looks really interesting, so if y'all are in for another. You like how my black and white did come back, though, after it shut down? I do. All right, guys. Here's another creepypasta. This one is called The M Show Fan Club. And it's another one I do not know. So bear with me. I'm trying to find the good music. All right, here we go. The M Show Fan Club. When I was 9 years old, I had a favorite TV series. It had human actors and actors in animal suits, and funny and educational clips in between. I don't want to name it because it was a really good show, and this story is not at all fault of the show. I'll just call it the M Show. The M Show was running for years, and I had been watching it for as long as I can remember. I always sat down straight after school with my older sister Scarlett and my best friend Brandy, who lived next door. It was our ritual. Every day the three of us sat together with sweets if our mom allowed it, or else with apples or grapes. And in the breaks of the show, we talked and gossiped about all the important issues in our lives. You know, as 9-year-olds. Then I remember it was a warm summer Friday. Scarlett found a prize competition in one of her girl magazines. It asked questions about the show, and first prize was a round trip with your parents to Disney World. But even better, everybody who sent in the correct answers would become a member of the M Show Club, a fan club for the show. The same day after watching the M Show, the three of us huddled together on the couch to answer the quiz. The questions were very hard. They asked detailed questions about old episodes on the show. Without Scarlett, Brandy, and I, we would have never managed to answer all the questions. Scarlett begged our moms for stamps and envelopes, and we filled the 3 envelopes each with a paper with our names and contact details and the answers to the questions. Scarlett even told us to vary our answers slightly so that we couldn't be called out for cheating. The letters were sent off, and every day we all rushed to the mailbox to get our M Show Club badges. When the first snow began to fall, we stopped checking the mailbox. Holy crap, that scared me. Brandy was still passionate about the show and watched it every day, but Scarlett lost interest. When Scarlett stopped watching, I too began to skip the show. Brandy still came over, but she was the only one watching. I sat next to her while working my way through Scarlett's old girl magazines. It was early spring. I remember there were tulips in our garden, and my mom reprimanded me for plucking 2 to decorate the kitchen table. But right after her lecture, she handed me a small square letter with my name printed on it. The back said, "Welcome to the M Show Fan Club." There was not much in the envelope, only a short leaflet that welcomed me to the club and a small ID card with my name on it and a big logo of the show in black letters, the M Show Fan Club. And in the line below, in big black letters, the word member. Brandy got her envelope the same day. She was glowing with happiness. Scarlett was jealous at first, but 2 days later, she got her envelope too. From then on, every Friday, each of us received a leaflet about the show with photos and anecdotes and background information on the characters. Occasionally, the leaflets also called on the club members to promote the show and to watch out for the M Show tour. Either way, it worked. We loved the show afterwards. I think from that day on, after I proudly stuffed the membership card in my bag, I didn't miss a single episode. Then in mid-June, we all got 2 leaflets. The first was the usual one with facts and photos, but the second was an ad. The tour bus is in town. This is your chance to become an elite member. The bus was coming the next Sunday to our town. We were all allowed to go. We were beyond excited. The leaflet didn't have much information, and that was before we had a computer at home. The tour bus would arrive at 1 p.m., and the main characters of the show would be there to welcome everybody and play games with us. Those that participated in at least 4 games would be upgraded to elite member status and receive a new golden membership card. Those 9 days of waiting for the M Show tour were some of the longest in my life. Brandy and Scarlett and I planned every day how we would take photos with each of the characters and then play games with them. I secretly dreamed of beating Scarlett at the knowledge game, where our knowledge about the show would be tested. On Saturday, Scarlett went to a birthday sleepover at one of her friends' houses. The parents were supposed to bring Scarlett back by 12 on Sunday. Around 12:30, Brandy came running to our house. She knocked on the back door like she always did and let herself in. Brandy was beyond excited. Her mom had volunteered to accompany the three of us, and she wanted to go early so that we wouldn't miss anything. My mom called the house of Scarlett's friend, but they didn't pick up their phone. She said that Scarlett would be home soon, early enough to come on in time. At 12:45, Brandy's mother came over to ask for us. She said that we would have to leave so that the queues wouldn't be too long. My mom said we should wait for Scarlett, but Brandy threw a tantrum. She was scared that she wouldn't be able to hug all the characters if we came in late. Brandy's mom decided to drive. I wanted to come along, but my mother said that she would drive Scarlett and me. I felt like I was being punished. I begged, I cried. Nothing helped. Brandy went alone. Her friend's parents dropped Scarlett off at 1:40. I was mad at her, but my mom said if I made a scene, we wouldn't go at all. I relented. We arrived around 20 minutes later at the big parking lot where the bus was scheduled to stop. We saw the crowds from the distance, parked the car, and walked over. I asked my mom where the characters of the show were. She said they were just behind the crowd. They all held the M Show tour flyers, but it looked as if the crowds were mostly parents. They stood in a half circle towards the edge of the parking lot. Some of them looked concerned, but most of them were laughing and talking. My mom spotted Brandy's mother at the other end of the half circle. We walked over to her. Brandy's mother was one of the worried ones. She told us that the bus had been there together with all animal figures from the M Show. They had a large bus with the M Show logo, and they handed out sweets. One of the animal figures had explained to the parents that they had built a set outside of town where we could all make our own short film with the characters of the show. They said they would drive everybody there. They took the children first. They were all so excited that few parents objected. Still, 3 or 4 parents came along and calmed the rest. The next bus was supposed to arrive within a few minutes to bring everyone to the set. When I heard that, I was excited like never before. I ran to the street to look around so I could be the first on the bus. Scarlett followed me. I didn't see the worried expression when Brandy's mother talked to mine. I didn't understand why the police came not even an hour later. In Monday's episode of the M Show, one of the characters came on stage and told us all to call our parents to watch the show. Our mom was already sitting with Scarlett and me. The character said that the M Show didn't have a fan club. That week, Brandy's parents cried a lot. I was still sure that Brandy was okay. I thought she just had so much fun that she didn't want to come back. She must have had a lot of fun. She never came back. Brandy's mother cried even more that Friday when the small parcel arrived. There was the M Show fan club membership card for Brandy. It was golden and said elite member in big bold letters. The parcel contained a video. It was only a minute long. A minute of Brandy at the set of the M Show. She was wearing the same dress as when she came over to our house that Sunday morning. On the video, Brandy was smiling. An actor in a big animal suit stood next to her silently. "Hi, Mom. I really like it here," said Brandy. "I really wish you could be here." Then she laughed. "I'm sorry the others were late. I'm sure they would have loved it too." And there's the M Show fan club. That freaked me out a lot.
Why?
That was creepy.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why was it creepy to you?
Because that's an interesting way to mess with children. Like that. Yeah, just to mess with that innocence. But it didn't go over the top violent or anything crazy. It just abducted kids, but in a very kind of like old ice cream truck, hey, I got some candy, but in a much creepier, not so silly way.
Say, hey little girl, how'd you like some candy?
Hey, little girl, how'd you like some candy? Is it not obvious I'm a creeper?
The cats are eating your socks.
They can stop eating my socks now. Hey guys, it's midnight. Woohoo! Hope y'all liked that one. That one was really good, in my opinion. As in, like, the actual, excuse me. Yeah, creepypasta, not my commentary. Although I had a lot of fun with it.
Sing something now.
Colum Wolf says, hey, don't know if these are the comments you're reading, but nonetheless, you're awesome, man. I'm a big fan and I am loving the creepypastas. Colum Wolf. Thank you very much. Hannah says, what scares me? Clowns, the unknown, death, typical stuff like that. Understand. Cameron James says, oh, this is so cool. Smiley face. Corey says, that's sexy as F chest hair. Imagine licking it.
What? No.
All right.
You don't want to do that.
You don't want to. It's really coarse. Blue Dude 55 says, this is not creepypasta, but CSC or SCP is pretty good. I've never heard of that. Mr. Finnegan says, hey. Lift I Fit Sleeps says, you should read He Stood Against My Window.
Oof.
Wait, you know that one? It's a great title.
Well, I'm just thinking about the fact you sleep next to this giant ace window.
Yeah, I sleep right next to a window, guys.
I don't sleep next to a window, thank goodness.
Now, do you want to sleep in that bed?
No, I don't. No, you can sleep in this bed. I will sleep in my own.
Ethan Yu says, is it just black and white for anyone else, or was it like that the whole time? I purposely set it to black and white, actually, to kind of set the mood. See, I can play around with it. Watch. Whoa. That's really... Let's try focus for a while.
Did anyone else notice how your bottle popped and scared?
Did anyone else notice that bottle popping and get freaked out? I freaked out. It was not. Ugh, that got me off. In a bad way. True Gamer says, that's enough horror for one night, Caleb. I'll definitely be joining the next stream. Bye. Thanks, True Gamer, for sticking around, man. You're awesome.
I have to try to sleep.
Kej1 or Kej1M says, hey, Caleb. Cheers from Russia. I salute you for all the epic stuff you make. I wish I could just copy-paste you for my band. Just kidding. No, but seriously. I'm sure your band's awesome. Indy says, sorry to give all the requests, but Annie 96 is really good. Oh, and I like the vest.
What's really good?
Annie 96. I've never heard of it. Annie 96 or Ann 96. Let's see. All right, all my 44 viewers, how y'all doing? We're going to do another creepypasta. So let's look up Annie 96.
You should, did you tell them you're going to be doing an original?
Yes, I need to tell y'all about my original story, and I want y'all to tell me. Hold on a second. Oh, wait, I know Annie 96. Ooh, this one's messed up.
Which one's that one?
It's just really creepy.
What's it about?
It's just these two people typing back and forth.
Okay, by the way, I found your Slipknot tank top.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Sweet. Okay, so guys, my creepypasta. I want to tell you about it. And tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know if you have any good ideas for it too, because I'm kind of open to things. I'm going to open my document because I'm working on it.
You're gonna talk about it?
What?
You're gonna talk about it?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you don't want to just surprise me? I mean, I don't care.
Hmm.
Whatever they want.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I won't tell you go into detail about it, but I'll tell you my titles I have for the story, and then you tell me what you think it's about if you're wanting to type. Just tell me what you think about it, but I have 3 titles in mind. So here's the titles. I have The Town That Smiles, The Day of Smiles, and The Negative One. So that's The Town That Smiles, The Day of Smiles, and The Negative One. So what out of those 3 seems the most interesting to you? Kind of makes your skin crawl a little bit, or makes you just go, I want to see what that's about. So let me know, because I think I have a really cool story in mind. You cannot sneak up on me like that.
Oh, no.
You scared me.
I'm sorry. I'm just scary looking.
That's scary looking.
I'm so scary looking.
No, you're great. I can't believe they turned off the Q&A feature. Okay, let's see here. I've read Andy 96, by the way. I'm also trying to avoid like really vulgar creepypastas. And that one's got a lot of vulgarity. Sorry, I'm so PC. Not really. Still really gross stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm trying to find some ones I want to read. I'm also waiting for comments on the YouTubes. Oh, wow. I got a lot of people there. Malcolm McKay says, just got in cracked open the wine. Let's get started. And then Mama Allura says, of course, I'm watching this right before I go to bed. Sergio says, hey, Caleb, just wanted to thank you for shivers and emotions throughout your Disney covers. You've got quite a fan club off of my family. Hopefully not the M Show fan club. Cheers from Rio. And of course, I'm watching this right before bed. Max Lee says, Town That Smiles. Ethan says, The Town That Smiles the best. Blue Dude says, I personally like the negative one. Brandon says, I'm high as F, dude, so I'll try to understand your creepypasta readings. LMI, I just figured I'd kick it while I smoked. All right. I dig it. Molly Lou says, The Town That Smiles sounds the most interesting to me. Hannah says, The Town of Smiles sounds very intimidating. I'd read it. The Town That Smiles has my vote. Okay. I think y'all have spoken. Now I'm gonna be reading another creepypasta here very soon. But if you want to tell me in the description what you think The Town That Smiles is about. The Town That Smiles. Tell me what you think it's about. Because you might give me some ideas that I hadn't had before. But just to say, give you guys a hint as to what the story might be about. My title, The Negative One, is an actual character within The Town That Smiles. So I have this being idea of creature called the Negative One, which is also based off of the song from Slipknot called The Negative One. So if you want to feel for how the story's going to feel emotionally, go listen to the song The Negative One, because that's kind of what I'm going for. But what do you think The Town That Smiles is about? What images come to your mind when you hear that? Because I want to create something truly creepy. I don't want to know what creeps y'all out. So The Town That Smiles. So who wants me to do an old school one?
What?
An old school one.
Like, which one?
I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna do the river lodge, whatever the heck. Disney River Country creepypasta. There we go. You okay?
Yeah, why?
Just making sure. All right, guys. The next creepypasta on the list could be the last. Can we stop? Oh, I'm gonna get the kitties. They are grabbing all our stuff and shaking little beads. About to have lights. Boom. Oh. You can play with this all you want.
Oh no, I feel like that's gonna tempt them.
No, they're not gonna get it.
Okay.
Now they're distracted. Look, Velcro. Velcro! Velcro! Kitties, Velcro! Whoa! Okay.
A very unscary moment.
The least scary thing. All right, dude who cracks his wine, we're about to get started. I'll take this gum out of my mouth. Get the most chew out of it. Excuse me, guys. I've had a lot of gas today from my chest from all the medicine. This one is called The River Country Film. Let me check my volume levels. Ah, here we go. We're good.
Oh, turn your music on.
Yeah, gotta turn my music on. It had been 3 years since my family had last gone on a vacation to Florida, something we did annually before the recession hit. Since we now had enough money, my parents decided, under the popular demand of my sister and I, that we go to Walt Disney World again. We were both teenagers, and our parents kind of saw this as a bit juvenile, but decided it would be fun anyway. I couldn't wait to finally go back, and neither could my sister. Being avid theme park goers as well, we were especially attracted to the creativity and the, well, magic, as one would say, about the rides there. They never got old, and they had their share of nostalgia and excitement. However, there was one other reason I wanted to go. You normally associate Disney World with words such as excitement, fun, and happiness. But with these characterizations come counterbalances. After scrolling through OMG Facts one night, I came across a rather interesting story. It was about an abandoned water park in Walt Disney World, apparently named River Country. I was absolutely appalled by this, since I had previously thought of Disney in a more idealistic and perfect way. The water park was directly on the shores of Bay Lake, being that huge, stagnant body of water adjacent to the Magic Kingdom. River Country was, and still is, on the same side as the theme park just mentioned, but right next to a resort called Walt Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort. Surrounding the water park on the resort is a large green wall with signs dotting it. These read, "Sorry, River Country is closed." The place opened in 1976 and used water from Bay Lake in most of the attractions. It was very rustic and wilderness-based in design and contained artificial rocks that resembled those used on another well-known ride, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. There was a dam present to keep chunks of dirt and mud from getting into the water too, so guests didn't have to worry about swimming in an artificial bog created by water from the lake. It was open for 25 years, closing its doors in 2001, and in 2005, a statement released by Disney said that the park would be closed for good. So for about 11 years, River Country has been sitting abandoned. Nature is in its advanced stages of reclaiming the area, but the slides remain, and so do the artificial rocks, and the small pond, now a swamp, that was used for swimming. Many urban explorers have infiltrated the area, jumping over the walls to get footage of the abandoned water park. One of the most controversial things about the park nowadays is why it closed, which is what I was destined to find out. I wanted to see some real footage of the area before it closed as well, since from what I've heard, it was very joyous and bustling with tourists compared to its ghost town status today. I was without internet at the time, so about 2 days before we were planning to leave, I went to the local library, which archived many old videos that people in my community had dug up in their attics and donated to the library to be part of a small historical society. Hoping that I might find some good footage, I asked the librarian if they happened to carry any videos dating back to 2001. She nodded and brought me to a small section containing many old VCR cassettes and a few DVDs here and there. About half an hour of searching, I finally came across a cassette with the words, "Old-fashioned swimming hole," inscribed on top of it. This term was used to describe river country in its glory days, so I took it, almost certain that it was the footage I was looking for. I asked the librarian if I could sign it out, but she told me that the historical videos had to stay in the library. I could, however, watch the video in a small conference room behind the front desk. The librarian led me into the windowless room, and I took a seat in front of the television. She left the room and closed the door so that the audio would not disturb any of the other library patrons. I popped the cassette into the VCR into the TV and turned the lights off so I could see the video better. I was expecting the quality to be low anyway. For about half a minute or so, the screen was gray and was accompanied with a loud beeping noise typical for old VCR cassettes. The gray soon disappeared, showing footage of two individuals in front of the entrance to River Country. They were both men, and it was either very late at night or very early in the morning, as nobody else was in the park. Very few of the water park's lights were on either. On the bottom left corner of the screen, the date, November 1st, 2001, was displayed. This was significant because the water park closed for good the very next day on November 2nd. The two men were talking about how they had been denied entrance to the park in the morning since it had reached its guest capacity limit. They also stated that only these hours of the night could they get past the park security. The two walked up to the bigger water slides in the park, which led directly into the pond supplied by the green water of Bay Lake. Once they both got to the top of the slide, which was encircled by artificial orange rocks, one man prepared to slide down. The two laughed over what seemed to be an inside joke, and finally, the cameraman ended up pushing his friend down. I heard him scream in delight as he descended into the pond. The cameraman then proceeded back the way they came to get to the slides and across a bridge that traversed the small lagoon. He ended up back at the pond shore where the sound of a splash was heard. That was when the video started to unsettle me a little. After waiting at the shore of the pond for about 3 minutes, nobody surfaced. The cameraman began to cry his friend's name frantically and started to run back to get help at the Fort Wilderness Resort. He stopped abruptly, though, at what seemed to be the kiddie area, a small, shallow pond, on hearing a faint cough. He instantly turned around and saw a barely visible shadow about 10 or so feet behind him. Revealed, the cameraman started to approach his friend, glad that he was okay, but again, he abruptly halted. The friend's head was hanging down, and he slowly inched it up. The cameraman started to hyperventilate as the features of the other man's face began to show. Crimson, dry blood was caked around his mouth, and some was even dripping off his chin. He was missing all the hair on his head as well, but one of the most disturbing parts of this image was that there were patches of skin missing that revealed parts of the man's skull and jawbone. He was even missing his right eye, leaving an empty socket. I became severely nauseous at the sight of this, to the point where I was swallowing my own vomit. My heart also began to race as fear started to settle into my body. As the last minutes of the film approached, the horrendous figure muttered something. Something that sounded like, "There is no hope under the water." With that, the cameraman ran for his life, wheezing and panicking throughout his ordeal. I wanted to turn the television off and run myself, so I bolted to the door leading out of the room. I reached for the doorknob, but paused. The television was giving off the sound of an old furnace found in the basement of a home, just in a softer tone. This tone, for some unknown reason, kept me from moving anywhere. My body was paralyzed, and I just stared blankly at the television. I began to internally panic. What the hell was going on? What was going on? The cameraman was still sprinting, but didn't seem to be making any progress. He had ended up back at the large pond where the slide had dumped his friend. You could hear him sobbing softly, fearing for his life. Suddenly, the tape began to gradually slow down as the man frantically looked from side to side. The audio volume, along with the furnace sound, went up as the video lagged. Haltingly and deafeningly, the cameraman turned all the way around and shrieked at the sight of his friend. The video paused on this frame, exposing the caked blood all over the other man's face. The top of his skull bone was now completely exposed, his right eye still missing, his mouth was wide open, and coming from it was what looked like a combination of the water from Bay Lake and bile. This stayed on the screen for about 10 seconds and switched to black, displaying one single message. The epidemic begins today. Instantly, the power went out. I was left alone in the darkness of the conference room. I became terrified as I couldn't see a thing, and I couldn't see the door either. I began to shake violently, fearing for my own life. River Country had closed because of this, and it was obvious. Walt Disney World has been keeping a disgusting secret. I rushed to the other side of the room, disoriented. But all I felt was a warm breath seeping down my neck and the smell of bile. And there is River Country Film. Delightful. An ending note on that. River Country is an actual abandoned water park that has been sitting dormant in Walt Disney World for over a decade. Oddly, the lights are still on within the area, and the music still plays as well. Many theories have come up about its closing, but one of the most plausible ones, and one that has been confirmed by Walt Disney World employees, is that a deadly type of amoeba was found within the water of Bay Lake, which was used to supply many parts of the theme park. This amoeba can cause severe illness or death, so as a precautionary measure, Disney closed the park for good. I've also heard about that too. The amoeba, basically someone had a very, very, very rare allergic reaction to the amoeba. Like, it's so rare that people have it. And he had it, and just to be safe, they closed the whole thing down. But, yeah, there's that. I did not know that music still plays through the park. That is frightening. Ooh. Do you like that one, Kara? That one is pretty creepy. Ugh.
What are people saying?
What are people saying? Oh, let's see. Let's see what y'all's comments are. I'm going to turn off this creepy frickin' music. All right. Someone said, Amy Nguyen said, well, I didn't need to sleep anyway, cry face.
Oh.
Keej1M says, the one in the username is just an I. Oh. Yeah, Keejum. Oh, abandoned by Disney. I thought about reading that, Brandon. I did, but I wanted to go for something shorter. Can you sing the last part of your version of Let It Go? Brian Duran says, it's far too late at night to sing it, but I would if it wasn't so late. Malcolm McKay says, woo! Lord Splaviaco says, do it. Someone says, read The Russian Sleep Experiment, or Colin Wolf says it. Old favorite. Indy says, yes, old school. Everyone watch this. Lord Splaviaco says, this is fun. Crazy Otaku Girl, I love Creepypasta. By the way, how are you? More people said Town of Smiles. I like Town of Smiles. Quite handsome, I must say. Thank you, Becca. Definitely do the window one, man. People like the Town of Smiles a lot. People also wrote ideas on what they think the Town of Smiles is, so I'm about to read those from what y'all think the Town of Smiles is about. By the way, people who have joined us who do not know what I'm talking about, the Town of Smiles, I'm working on a creepypasta and I presented some titles, and it seems that the unanimous vote for my work that I'm working for, the story I'm working on, is the town that smiles. So I'm going to be reading people's ideas here. Ethan says, I kind of get a vibe that everyone seems forcibly happy. Sergio Nunez says, maybe an apparently happy town that has some really spooky secrets. Ring Gangster 53 says, the
Oh.
Hello. There we go. My gosh. It went off when I was saying someone's name, so they got through the story at least.
Oh gosh, that would have been so annoying.
Oof, man, everyone was on top of that too. People are like, it's down, it's down, it's down.
Sorry. Yoink.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean for that to happen. Okay. I'm surprised you're all still here, actually, considering my mic was down. Well, then I'll go back and read up. I was basically reading through everybody's. Mason, Tinsley's, Corey, Roshan, Molly LeBlue. I was reading all of your thought ideas on my story, and they're fantastic. Like I was saying, like just really cool. And they're not the idea I was thinking of, but what y'all have come up with almost is like its own story in and of itself. There's so much you can do with it. I think the fact that y'all are coming up with all these different answers draws attention to the problem I'm having with it is that there's so many directions you can go. It's like, which one is the best? And I guess that's a good problem to have if you're going to have an issue. Unimaginably Cheesy says, you're so sleepy, it's funny. AJ Lewis says, I really enjoy this. Mamaru Goldstead says, Russian sleep experiment, please. Katie Langley says, that one was too creepy. I'm in my dark room looking around now. Pratt says, hi from New Caledonia. Heck yeah. Jennifer Smith says, used to go to river country all the time when I was young. They were also very cautious about the water at Fort Wilderness. Our canoe tipped over in Fort Wilderness, and we had security and first aid bum rush us, asking if we were feeling sick to contact them if we have any flu-like symptoms.
Like they knew.
Show up within the next week or so. Ooh, that's creepy, Jennifer. Ooh, that's creepy. And then a bunch of people thumbsing up people's mics being down.
Oh. Okay.
Someone's like, Reed Squidward suicide. Ooh, that's creepy. Let's see. Audio cut off. Oh man, so many people saying the audio's down.
Is it bad?
People are like, audio's down. It's the man. The man. People think it's like someone evil.
Oh. All right.
Brennan's Ross, read your story. Nut up. That's some 5 minutes of wasted words. I know, Sergio. I know.
Well, you have 2 more creepypasta nights and Disney trivia nights.
Oh, Molly LeBlue really wants to know what I think about your post. Oh, you're bummed out. Okay, well, I'll go through them again real quick. I like the idea of being physically unable to smile because I hadn't actually considered that thought. It was more or less a town that is normal like every other town, but there's a certain event that has happened within the town's past that forces them to in a position to where smiling is the only option they have if they want to remain alive. So the town that smiles, the day of smiles, is this concept that there is this event that takes place that they must smile for. And it's just unsettling because no one wants to smile because you're scared, you're terrified of what might happen if you don't. So, but I like the idea. Like I was saying, I love everyone's ideas they're coming with because they're all different and they're all really good. I like the idea of a few townspeople being chosen to smile. That's a cool concept in and of itself. Like the town can't smile, but a couple people are chosen to smile. It sounds like, oh, man, that's like a whole nother way to go with it. And I liked Mason Tinsley's a lot as well. The idea that he comes to town where everyone's smiling all the time and they call him the negative one and it drives him insane. I like that too. And Corey, you had the idea of the cheek-to-cheek grin when she gets hurt in the playground. I actually have a scene that I've thought of in my head of something like that happening. And that's definitely something I'm going with in my head. Buddy. Newest fast. Sounds like North Korea, doesn't it? Do a game creepypasta. Sounds like North Korea. Sounds like North Korea. Trying to get my sound. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Well, guys, I think you might just have to wait.
Disney nights and creepypasta nights.
I will let y'all know, though, before I head off for the evening. Creepypasta nights are on the 24th and the 31st. So that is this Friday and next Friday, Halloween. I know you'll be done doing your trick-or-treating and whatnot. You'll be back. You can tune in. I'll be up pretty late that evening to give everyone just come in and out, listen to a couple stories, and hopefully I'll read mine. And maybe read it a couple times throughout the night, just so more people can hear it. So tonight was the first one. It was an impromptu. I might do another one in between the 24th and the 31st, but it will be impromptu, and it will just be kind of happening. So stick to the fan page, Caleb Hiles Music, to learn more details about when that's happening. The Disney Trivia Nights are on the 22nd on Wednesday at 7:30, which is 2 days from now. So 2 days from now, the 22nd, Wednesday at 7:30 my time, more Disney trivia. It's going to be awesome. You're not going to want to miss it. Kayla Makes Magic is going to be there, and it's a lot of fun. And then on the 27th, which is next Monday, to make your Monday better, at 7:30 again, 7:30 p.m. Central, 7:30 p.m. for both, we're going to have another Disney Trivia Night, and you're not going to want to miss it because it's super fun. And hopefully, by next Monday, I'll have another cover out. But my voice has been kind of shot, so I haven't been able to do as much as I would like. But I would like to get 2 covers out by then because I need to catch up. Because when Halloween drops, I might have a premiere for you guys. Might. So, thank y'all again for watching and listening to me do some creepypasta. I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave me in the comments or shoot me a message on the Facebook page about which one was your favorite tonight. And if you have any feedback, things I could do better, please let me know. And let me know how cheesy this vest is. Again, hashtag horror for Hiles, hashtag creepypasta nights. Let all your friends know about these coming up because I want big crowds. I want big turnouts. And I know the more people there are, the more fun this can be. And if you have any suggestions, I might put some voting up on the fan page for you to choose which one you want me to do. So next time I do this, I'll have a script. I'll have them set up. I'll have practiced them so I know what's coming. Because when you read them off the cuff, you're just kind of going with the flow. You're hoping you get it right. But when you're able to practice, you're able to like nail it. So thank you all again. Stick around to the fan page. Stick around to YouTube. I'm going to have some more covers up soon. And thank y'all again for watching. So good night. Peace, love, and metal. And the rake is behind you.